How to start a life coaching business. Are you feeling called to help or serve others in a more powerful way, but you're not sure exactly where to start? This video is for you. By the end of this video, you will be clear about 7 specific areas of clarity that are absolutely essential for anyone who wants to start a life coaching business. You'll also get a pretty good handle on where you are in each of those areas. Let's jump in, shall we? If you want to get the best benefit out of this video today, open a separate window on your browser or on your phone and go to this URL because we're going to go through a quiz as I go through each of these 7 clarities. Here's where you find it. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/practitioner quiz. All one word, practitioner quiz. Remember my name, drpauljenkins.com/practitioner quiz. Now, you can do this after you watch the video too if you want, but if you follow along, if you've got a separate window open, I think that's going to work the best. The first clarity that is important for anyone who wants to start a life coaching business is why. Are you clear about your why? I remember when I became really serious about my life coaching business was after I was already an established psychologist. In 2017, I had the privilege of listening to Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who is a brilliant neurosurgeon and also a correspondent for CNN. He was speaking to a group of us in a Bravenel Hall in Salt Lake City. He had been in Puerto Rico that morning reporting on a hurricane, a devastating hurricane that came through back in 2017. And then he was in a Bravenel Hall with us that same evening. During the Q&A, somebody asked Dr. Gupta, what is the most disturbing thing that you've seen out there? Now, that's a big question for someone who's been to earthquakes and war zones and hurricanes throughout the world. But he didn't even hesitate. It's the unnecessary death. And then he clarified, people are going to die in a hurricane. We get it. That's part of the deal. But what's tragic is people who die after the fact because they don't have access to food, water, medical supplies, the things that they need to survive. And even more tragic and disturbing is that all those things exist in containers, on ships, in the port, on the island. But there's no distribution process to get it out to them. It was that same month that I launched this channel on YouTube because we have to have a distribution process to get life-saving principles into the hearts and hands of those who need it. That's my why. And that's what keeps me going when the how gets hard. That's one of the other clarities. In fact, let's move on to number 2. Before we do, if you've got that separate window open with the quiz, mark item number 1 right now while you're thinking about it. I am clear about my why. Mark how strongly you agree with that. And let's move on. Clarity number 2 is who. Who can I serve? Now, the biggest trap that I see new life coaches running into is that they want to help everybody. You knew it. You said it before I did. Everyone. And I've been in that trap before. And honestly, the principles that we teach, that we can help our clients with, do apply to everyone. At least everyone with a pulse, right? But the problem is you can't market to everyone. So you have to pick a niche, a group of people, an avatar that you can work with. Who is it that you can uniquely serve? And get as specific as you can. How clear are you about those that you can serve? For me, currently, the reason you're watching this video, I can help coaches, therapists, parents, teachers, those who work with and have influence with other people to become powerful, certified positivity practitioners. On that second item, mark your level of agreement with this statement. I am clear about who I can best serve and how I can find them. And it's okay if you're not very clear about that. This is just for you. Let's jump to number 3. I am clear about what I have to offer. For me, the what always comes back to my basic positivity model. I see this as the operating instructions for the equipment of our own brain. What is it that you have to offer? Do you have a model? Do you have a process? Do you have a system? And it's okay if you don't, but rate your level of clarity about this. Part of what the quiz is going to do for you is tell you what you get to work on. Nobody is perfectly clear about all 7 of these areas. So wherever you are is perfect for you. Let's go on to the next one. The next clarity is when. Is this the right time? There are reasons and seasons. When I invite people to come into the Positivity Practitioner certification, sometimes I'll hear, well, I don't know if this is the right time for me. Now, sometimes these are reasons that become excuses, but other times we have seasons of our life. I know one of our practitioners recently is a young mom, and she took a couple of years off from her practice and building her new coaching business to raise a couple of little kids. Okay, that's a season in her life. We honor the seasons, but don't let the reasons become excuses. How clear are you? Mark your level of agreement with clarity about when. Clarity number 5 is pretty easy, especially in our current culture and society. Where? Where will I serve my clients? Now, for some people, they want to do the old school face-to-face, meet together in an office. I still have an office. I just don't use it very much because most of my interaction is virtual. It's on Zoom, it's on camera, and that has expanded the where for me. But what is it for you? Mark your level of clarity about where you will serve your clients. Now, number 6 gets into some of the technical details about how. How am I going to serve my clients? What will be the processes? How am I going to structure my offering? What is my sales strategy? How am I going to market this? The how becomes a big part of setting up a new coaching practice. Don't worry about all of the details right now. Just rate your level of clarity about that. And usually, especially for beginning coaches, this one is pretty low. That's fine. Remember, whatever you rate it is perfect for you, and this is just for you. It's to help you know where to start. Now, I saved that how for the end because it is a big project usually to handle all the hows. If you're clear about your why, remember that was number 1. If you have a strong enough why, that will drive you and give you the energy to do all of the difficult hows that will be required as you move forward. That's why we started in that order. Without getting bogged down in the details, there's one more clarity that is absolutely essential. Remember, I promised you 7. Here's number 7. Ethics. Are you clear about the ethics? This includes the limitations. This includes what your expertise can handle and what it can't handle. And you're not supposed to be the expert. You're supposed to be an expert. Do you hear the difference there? Hopefully you'll find some relief in that. You don't go into this being able to do everything. You've got a niche of things that you can do to uniquely serve people. Get clear about what that is. And along these lines, this is the clarity that's going to keep you out of jail and out of trouble. Because as you practice within your area of expertise, you are much safer than if you are reaching outside of your area of expertise. There's also licensing and regulations that apply in certain industries and in certain spaces. You can't just declare yourself to be a coach and then go practice therapy, for example. That is a licensed activity. And I use that one because as a licensed psychologist, I've done both. I no longer practice therapy, I do exclusively coaching. But you need to understand where the limits are in whatever it is that you're doing so that you can stay out of trouble. So I invite you to just consider, how clear am I about that? It's okay if you're not very clear about it yet. You're going to get clear about it before you get too far along. Okay, so here's my invitation to you. We've covered 7 areas of clarity that are absolutely essential for anyone who wants to set up a life coaching business. Have you followed along in the quiz? If you haven't, go do it now. drpauljenkins.com/practitioner quiz. When you complete the quiz, click submit, complete the whole thing, and I will provide for you a little summary of your particular answers. This will help you to know where you are, how you compare to other people who have taken the quiz, and maybe identify a few next steps for you along that path. I am happy to be on your team. I'm here to help. Go finish the quiz, and then let's take it from there.